It's a rather beautiful day outside, so I'm just enjoying the beautiful sunshine. And at the same time, I'm going to be showing you what I have been working on. So I don't have anywhere to do my compost, and I want to compost. So here we have what they call salmon berries. They look like raspberries. Even the plants and the flowers and the shape of the fruit is just like raspberries, but it have a more tart flavor. But in the midst of this patch, there was a little opening, and so I decided that I was going to use that space to build my compost. So now I have it all built, and over here I have the material that I had it from containers that I was composting, and this is some of the grass clippings from the yard in this section. So that is loaded with Canadian night crawlers, red wrigglers, and European night crawlers. These worms are found naturally in this region, but the Canadian night crawlers that I have in here, they are rather strange. I'm not familiar with them. They look exactly like the Canadian night crawlers. They're a little bit shorter than the ones that I get at the stores. I don't know if it is because they are young, but even the adults are short. So prior to creating this pile, there was no Canadian night crawlers seen in it. But what happened is, let me show you how I end up with them, and I'll explain why I say that they are strange. My kids are playing, they're enjoying the nice weather, so don't mind the noise. In this section here, whenever we cut the lawn, we tend to put the grass here. So last year's grass clippings was placed here. It get rain on because this is a rainy region, and as the grass breaks down, worms start to gather underneath it and eat in the grass clippings. And 3 months ago, I removed most of the material that was there, and I saw red wrigglers and European night crawlers. Then 2 months ago, I started to notice what looks like Canadian night crawlers. And last month, I decided to take some of the content and to put it into my raised bed. Then, just as I moved the content, I noticed something strange. As the worms get exposed to the light, from the clitellum to the head of the worms start to glow this neon green stripe. And from the clitellum down to the tail start to glow a blue stripe and sometimes a purple stripe. I've never seen any worm done anything like that. I was a bit concerned, so because it was a neon color, both the blue, the purple and the green was neon colored. So I was wondering if, because it looks somewhat metallic, if it was the, what are those, Asian jumping worms. But Asian jumping worms, one, they wiggle like a snake when they are disturbed. These worms didn't do that. And two, their clitellum is milky white and flush with their bodies, and so I knew they weren't the Asian jumping worms because their clitellum was neither milky white nor was it flush with their body. These worms, their clitellum was an orange looking color, but they look exactly like Canadian night crawlers, so I'm assuming that's what they are. So that is what I have in this pile here. This I placed there 2 weeks ago, and for the most part it was dry. I just moistened it today, so I don't think, I haven't seen any sign of worms when I was stirring it this morning. So now that I've moistened it, I guess the worms are going to move over. Now let's go down to where I previously had, where I have my garden last year. I still have it down there, so don't know why I said previously. I'll explain that a little bit more. I shouldn't be wearing slippers though. This region is super rainy, and as you can see, we have the sea right behind us there, and the neighbor on that side, and the neighbor on this side, everything slopes to the back of my yard, and so water drains off when it rains from both sides. And there is this trench where the water settles and the excess runs off, and so it is very soggy down here. It is very soggy. We haven't had rain in a while, and when we do, it's just a small amount, so the ground is solid, but not solid, partially solid. As you can see, it is looking muddy. It is muddy to some extent. Even when I step, I am sinking, but it's not too bad because it haven't rained much. But yes, I just wanted to show you what happened to my garden. You remember that I built 7 raised beds down here last summer, right? Because we moved in the fall of 2022. So look at what happened to my bed. The first bed that I built is okay because that ground is soft but not so bad. Immediately behind the second bed, however, is very soft. Where the foot of that bed is, it is very soft. It is all waterlogged. In fact, you can't walk there unless you're wearing a water boot. And this area is extremely windy. So as you can see, the cover for my bed got broken. I was thinking that I would not build it extremely strong, since as I will have to demolish it when I'm moving, and I didn't plan to be here until now. That was my corn bed. And as you can see, the height of the sticks, that is how high the plastic was to provide heat, because temperatures in this region is usually around 15 degrees Celsius. Maybe it goes up to 20, but because it is humid, it may feel warmer than that. So I have to grow warm weather crop underneath a greenhouse setting in order for it to produce anything. This bed was my tomato bed last year. The ground is so soft that the legs sink and broke. So now I'm just going to plant in it as it is, but this is going to be a cool weather bed. I'm not going to be doing anything else. Here, right here, these are part of the legs of the bed that was there. And this was my lettuce and carrot bed last year. And that's the cover that was on it. That one got broken, and so I removed it. And I transfer the dirt or the soil to my indoor garden. This was my potato bed last year, but as you can see, the cover is gone and it is leaning because that back section of it is in water. You can see the deep rut because all of that is just soggy. As a matter of fact, all of those grass that you see there only grow where there is a body of water. And this here, this spot was where I had my brassica bed. That too got well, I didn't demolish it, I transferred it to the front of the yard. And I'm going to be growing, I think, cool weather crop in it. But ooh, I was gonna go around there to show you, but I'm starting to sink, so I'm not gonna go there because I'm in my slippers. So I'm taking the soil out of here and I'm transferring it to my indoor garden as well. After I get this out, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this bed yet, if I'm going to move it further up to that region there, because even though it is soft, it is not. It is able to withstand the weight because the slope here allows the water to run off. So for one thing, I'm not sure what I'm going to be planting in there. I was thinking of using this because it is so low to the ground, and to turn this into my corn bed and cover it over with plastic so that it can produce a lot of heat to make the corns grow and produce. And over here, well, I don't know if I should go over there in the slippers because it is extremely soft, but if I walk on the root of the grass, I might be okay. I've laid down a piece of board there so that I can step on it. I'm just taking my time so I don't sink in the mud. So this is the only bed out of my 7 beds that remain intact, and so I decided that I was going to plant in here, using it as a greenhouse for now. So in this corner here I have peppermint. In that corner there, I'm not sure what type of mint that is. I got that at the seed swap last month, and it is all planted up. Here we have some brassicas. I'm not sure if this is Swiss chard or purple sprouted broccoli, but they have germinated. Naturally, they'll be the first to germinate. And I don't know if you can see those tiny green in there. These are my amaranth. I have red and the red leaves one, and I have the cow tongue, meaning the broad leaves amaranth, or callaloo as we call it in Jamaica, germinating. I have Scotch bonnet pepper planted in seed sown in here, and what other pepper? Long sweet pepper. I have quite a few things, different things. I have carrots sown in here. So some of the things are going to be transplanted, like these brassicas, and the mints are going to be transplanted out. Now that little thing here is cocoa, as we call it in Jamaica. It is like a yam, and I guess some regions call it cocoa yam. So I got it at the store and I decided I'm going to plant it. So this one I'm going to transplant it from there because it is too close to the edge of the bed and it needs a lot of soil for it to produce large roots, or should I say large, yeah, it is a root. Yeah, it's for it to produce large cocoa. So I need to get it somewhere further away from the center, from the let me just grab these weeds out of here. Yes, I need to move it away from the edge of the bed and put it more in a central location where it can produce as much as possible. I still haven't decided what I'm going to be doing with this yet. I put a few potatoes in here already because I still have to clean up the beds, but I want to use the time to get things started because the growing season is not long. And right now when we're having a drought, which means that it is warmer than is usual. So I'm making use of that warmth to get my warm weather crops up and running as early as possible so that I can harvest when the time comes. Yes, I just wanted to give you a tour of my garden and show you what was happening with it. So if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more update as to what I will be doing with this gardening area here, then please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification for more updates like these. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have yourself a wonderful day. Yeah man, time for grow.